Hello, my friends. It's good to be with you today, a couple of days after I do my usual daily or weekly moment, but that's the way life goes sometimes. I want to remind you as we begin that you are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the gift you already are. And I say it aloud to remind you, but as I say it, I also try to remember it myself because I'm not always feeling it. Uh, some days are just challenging, and some days we even want to label. And the funny thing is, I labeled it in the title this thing. So you have a bad day, or you're having a bad day, or whatever it is. And I've already labeled the day bad. And perhaps I need to pay attention to that labeling thing that I attach to the way things are going. I just have to say that today, when I got out of bed, I just have been out of sorts almost the whole day. And it's only like 10:30 in the morning. I could look at my watch, 10:53. And my watch knows it because my watch is even suggesting maybe you need to take a moment. Uh, that's one of those things Apple Watch does for me. Reminds me, maybe you just need to take a moment. Uh, Lots of different things happen in our days that make them challenging. Maybe it's the way we slept, or the way we got up in the morning, or whether we're focused or not. Lots of thoughts and feelings arise all the time in our lives. And you see, I thought personally, and this is just a reminder for me, I thought personally I had conquered the challenging days. Isn't that kind of funny the way that happens? I kind of in the back of my mind think, I have a good meditation practice. I use centering prayer where I let go of the thoughts and feelings that arise almost as soon as they arrive without making any kind of particular judgment about them. I just let them go. And as I've practiced that as a part of my meditation practice, it's kind of overflowed into my daily life. And yet, even with that overflow, today was not one of those days when I could easily let go. There are, and I want to talk a little bit briefly about the first three R's of centering prayer. And the first is to resist no thought. Whatever thought arises, don't try to push it down, don't try to push it away, don't try to force it out of your mind. Just let the feeling arise, even the thought arise, even whatever the thought may be, whatever it may be, and it may be something that you're ashamed or angry about that rises up inside of you. So don't resist that thought rising, but don't, the second R, retain no thought. Don't grasp it. Don't hold on to it. Don't try to keep a hold of it. That was my problem this morning. The second R was where I really faced challenges this morning. Every thought that arose inside of me that was what might be labeled a negative thought, an angry thought, a struggling thought, whatever it may have been, I was holding on to it as I was walking down the stairs, as I was making breakfast, as my day began. I was holding on to these pieces, and I kept saying to myself, you are shaping your day by these thoughts. You can just let them go. Don't hold on to them. And yet, despite saying that to myself and trying to practice letting go, not so much today. Not so much so far today, anyway. I have faced that challenge. So oftentimes the things that shape our days into what we might call a bad day is that we're grasping and holding on to angry thoughts, fearful thoughts. We're holding on to them really tight. We're not letting them go. We're not letting them go. The third R is react to no thought emotionally. So whatever thought or feeling that's rising in us, we don't have to react in an emotional way. And I say that, and it's very easy to look at the way my morning has gone, and not only have I grasped thoughts, held on to them, retained them that were of a negative value, I reacted to my holding on with negative thoughts about myself, judging myself. You've had a practice for over 10 years of centering prayer, James. What were you thinking not letting these things go? And so then it became a wonderful opportunity for me to have some negative self-talk. And I just want to say to you, this happens to all of us. It happens to all of us. It's worth developing a practice. I want to tell you right now that for most of my life, and as my centering prayer practice, my meditation practice, my letting go practice has become really a practice, something I do every day, more than once a day, that it has really helped me to sort of live my life more fully, not hold on to things, not push things away and create that negative pushing energy inside of myself, but instead just letting it pass through, recognizing that I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my feelings. They arise in whatever way they do. I don't have to hold on to them. Neither do I have to react to the fact that they happened to begin with. But even with practice, you can have bad days. But it's still worth the practice. It is still worth making the time. Now, the recommended amount of time for a centering prayer practice is 20 minutes a sit, or more, but 20 minutes. I want to say to you that as much as I think that that's really important, and those 20 minutes, it takes me 20 minutes to let go of the thoughts that I got going on in my head. As much as I think 20 minutes is important, if you can find yourself letting go for 5 minutes, that's a place to begin. It's a place to begin. Taking 5 minutes of silence, timed silence, however you choose to time it, and just sitting and feeling those things rising up in you. Because inside of us, we are conscious beings who not only think, but know that we think, and can reflect on the thoughts that we're thinking. So those thoughts don't have to shape, those feelings don't have to shape us because they're not us. But it requires the practice of letting go. So I've been flexing my muscles today, not these. They're not very, I wouldn't show them to you anyway. They're not that strong, but I've been flexing my letting go muscles, my ability to let go. And so far today, I have met great resistance within. It's been hard to let go of the things that have bothered me. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep letting go. I'm going to keep practicing as the things that I allowed to shape my day, by grasping after them, by reacting to them, I can let them go. So I encourage you on this day or any time to take up a practice of letting go, the practice of centering prayer. You can find information about the practice, the official practice of centering prayer at contemplativeoutreach.org. But you can also ask me about it if you want sometime, and I'll be glad to walk you through the process of centering prayer as you want to practice it. Please remember that even on the days when you fail in whatever practice you have, whether it's morning prayer or scripture reading or anything else, it's not an opportunity for you to beat yourself up, as I used it today. It's not meant to be yet another opportunity. It's an invitation to let go, to recognize that we all fail, We all make mistakes, and that we are being held by something and someone bigger than we are, and we are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved even when we do fail. So I hope you'll have a good day. I hope you'll have a full day, a day without suffering, without struggle. But even on the days when you do struggle, those days that you might label a bad day, that you might give yourself a break, cut yourself some slack, practice letting go, and try to move forward. And even when you don't make it, to still love yourself. And remember that you are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the gift you already are. I hope you'll have a good day